So it's already July 7th. Time flies. This was the daily candles on NASDAQ. I like to highlight certain things on this. So let me just go get some stuff here. That's a bit too big. Here, let's just put it that way. Just want to see where all this comes to. So high odds we could come into this area here today on the NASDAQ. So I just want to highlight that, and I just rebuilt these charts, so I think they're wrong here. Let's just put that back, 21, and then go to my this. And so this is Sierra charts. Just arranging my charts here because here we are. Let's have that like that, and put it back here so at least we can see them. Yeah. So yesterday was a pretty good session, but I missed it. Couldn't trade yesterday. So we're looking at an overnight that is basically in yesterday's range. Didn't really break it. Was it the same case for NASDAQ? Let me just put this
So
back.
just seeing from BlackRock Investment here, saying they have cut the US stocks from overweight and turns neutral on US stocks now.
Oh, NASDAQ is trading above yesterday's range, and the Russell is within yesterday's value area. So I just highlighted that. So let's see. And this is today's economic stuff. Oh yeah, FOMC minutes at 2 p.m. Good to know. I had not seen that, so good to play that. Hopefully we don't get caught in a trade. 2 p.m. Yeah, so that was today's early market mapping, as we can call it. Just want to make sure we don't forget the economic calendar here.
So just seeing that UK stocks have been cut to neutral versus overweight from BlackRock as well.
Alright, so let's just look at how I've shaped up my new screen here. So,
BlackRock Institute says it's saying that European stocks have been raised to overweight as BlackRock.
alright, so let's just put Mr. Squawk silent for here. Yeah, so I put this here with my 30-minute footprint just to, I don't really put the footprint on that, but here I just have how the whole volume has been shaped up so far. That's just an indicator of how the market's trading and all that. So I'm just going to put that directly here, right? If I can just arrange all this, which doesn't seem like it wants to work. And then I've got here a 2-point range candle chart, basically. Range chart, sorry. And on the ES, I just want to see how the rotations have been and have it that way. I actually have another. I have two sets of screens here, and I've got NASDAQ on one side and then ES on one side. Here it's ES, and here we've got NASDAQ. I've got the bonds on one side. I'm using ES Sierra Church domes just to illustrate to certain traders who want to have access to Sierra charts and want to see how their domes are working out. So at least that way I have both. I have jigsaw domes with the bonds and NASDAQ here. I have on one side Russell, YM, and Euro. So here I've got the Jigsaw ES dome. These are Jigsaw tapes, Sierra tapes. This is a tape that comes from Sierra. This is from Jigsaw here on NASDAQ. So what we've got here is the large orders, and then the mid-size orders, and then I just want to see the pace of the tape with this this tape here on ES, and also this tape on NQ just is enough to see what's going on. So this here is something new that I've got from another trader who built this, and it's basically the cumulative delta of the lots, so the tape that's working out here. So that's basically this one here, and that's this one here. So I just have them on just to see what's going on with the large orders and what kind of size and the lots that are affecting uh, the price movements. I think it kind of helps, but I'm kind of still like really testing it to see how I could use it. But I just know that I don't want to really fade against the large orders and the extra large orders. So extra large orders are 100 plus. This is 50 to 100. Small size is like 1 to 10, and then this is basically 15 and plus. So the mid size, as you can see, haven't been affecting the cumulative delta here. So what's really affecting is the small size here. So it's mostly retail that's kind of like playing around, and maybe some large lots that have come in a bit. I haven't seen a lot of large lots here in the last what is it? The last what did I do? I just closed the tape by error there. So okay, let's just get back to it here. I think it's this here. Is it? What did I do with it? My God. Anyway, yeah, here we are. That's back. So let's just put that, arrange that. Is it better this way? No, it's better. I think it's good this way. All right, so I'll do it like that. Here we are. Try not to touch that. So, yep. So I wanted to configure it, the how you call it, my setups here this way, just to kind of change it up a bit, just to make sure I'm seeing the right stuff. I'll be back for the open, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, so I took some pretty exotic trades on NASDAQ here this morning. So yeah, I wanted to be a bit more aggressive because I've been finding that I've been really passive in the last couple of days. So it was pretty aggressive, let's say. Yeah, let me just put the little update on Twitter here just to make sure that I can continue with that. So yeah, I didn't trade the ES here, so should have been a bit more. I wasn't really focusing much on ES, honestly. It was just let's just put this. So I'm going to show you guys the market context here, what we've got. So it's been what? It's 9:52, 8 minutes for the first 30 minutes to end here. So I've got some aggressive entries on NQ. Worked out well. Sorry. Alright, so here is the market context. So we've got ES barely made a new high in the overnight, or above the overnight high, sorry. And NASDAQ is also rotating there. Um, you know, Russell has been really the very weak market in the last couple of days here. So let's see how that plays out. So I might be a bit more aggressive today compared to the last other sessions. I've been going back and seeing my recordings, and I'm kind of noticing that sometimes I'm cutting the trades a bit too early. Maybe it's because I'm talking and trading at the same time, which is not something I do all the time. So that could also be something that's affecting. But let's see how I trade here today. So I was really aggressive on NASDAQ. So the, the the screen that has ES here doesn't have my NASDAQ trade, so I'm gonna most likely put them separate. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, so I really think NASDAQ has been a nice market to trade this morning, but I could be wrong, so we'll see. So ES has been really rotating lower since the open, which is actually here. So let's say the open is approximately here. If you look at the 2 point range chart, it's been really doing, it's the strong momentum up that I saw, and I kind of did move lower here at the open. You guys saw how that was really aggressive. But now it's coming back to the lows. Let's see this guy here at what is this, 42.41. He's got a big, large offer there, large bidder there. Let's see. Other than that, if we look at the order book, it looks pretty clean. I'm not seeing. Oh, you see this guy here. What is this? 43.50. That's got a large order waiting there, but that's still far away. Anyway, I'm just gonna post what I've got here for Twitter here. Let's see how this goes. So I'll just share that with you guys. These are the entries I did on Nasdaq. Honestly, they kind of went against me a bit, so I had to play it with several lots, 7 to 8 lots. So that one was a nice squeeze down, and it played out well. So let's just see what I posted. Yeah, that was again the market context. Yeah, so the Nasdaq trades were pretty aggressive, to be honest. The only thing I was really doing is I was focusing on how they were rotating between 10 points. This is an 11 range footprint that I have here that I'm using now. 11 point range, sorry. I put 11 because I just wanted to see a bit more than 10 points. I put 44 ticks, so that should be All right, so other than that, if I stop talking, maybe I could help. So we've got the NASDAQ tape here that's making noise. Price squawk, I mean. So I played NQ really because it really felt like it was doing a lot of rotations. If we look at the range chart here on that NQ, so that's NASDAQ. If you look at it here, so yeah, these rotations were very nice. This one, especially this move down, which I caught. That's the one I caught with the decent gain there. Yeah. So that's a 25 tick rotation, and then here I've got the footprint for I don't know why I called it an 8 tick range footprint chart here, which is not the case at all. Let me just update that. NQ 44 tick. Yeah, so every 44 ticks it creates a new candle. That's the purpose of that. I mean I was using PNF footprints, which I also have on the other side. This tells me basically where, I might not have it on the screen, but it also just shows me where the liquidity buckets are on NASDAQ. Yeah, so let's see how this plays out. Trying to always keep this here auto scale on the dome here. Gonna be a bit, let's see here. Let's focus on ES a bit here. So maybe we'll wait out a next couple minutes just to get things aligned. So we've been noticing that, the large lots haven't really been doing a huge impact on the tape here, and the mid-size have been rolling over. Let's see how we can get something going here. Let me see. We're back to the open on ES, which is always a tricky thing because some like to defend it, some call it, oh, we're through the open several times, no conviction. So, I mean, it could be both, right? I have to say, NASDAQ is really the clear market this morning, so it's been a bit tricky. So NASDAQ looks really clean. Yeah, NASDAQ really looks weak here, so I'm gonna have to try to get this to work here. Let's see. Yeah, got stopped out. It's okay. That was a little trade there. Yeah, that didn't really give us much, did it? Let's see. ES is really in no momentum. It's really not getting any kind of momentum running here. So, are they gonna go for the lows here on ES? Maybe. So far the plan that I had on Nasdaq hasn't really worked out. But I mean, it's every move up has been kind of weak, and that was my the kind of trade I was looking for. So every time it moved higher, it kind of showed weakness, and it really looks weak here. But I think I'm gonna wait for a little bit of a pullback to get some kind of an entry here. The thing is, it moves it's moving in a way where the entries have to be almost picture perfect for me to get something going. Yeah, I'm gonna try to see if we can get a run to the lows here on NASDAQ. I think we're gonna go back to the lows here. So I'm gonna be a bit more aggressive on it. Let's see if I can get something going. Yeah, it really looks weak. For me, this is weak. It just looks like it wants to go back and test the lows. So if I can get a test to the lows here, it'll be a tremendous trade. Tremendous, really. Yeah, that's why I'm gonna move these out a bit so that I can get something maybe around the 11.8, 14.840s. Yeah, we're gonna get a test to the lows here. I think, yeah, here we are. What did I tell you? We're gonna have to be aggressive here, guys. Smack it, smack it. Get it done. Here we go. Beautiful. Wasn't that beautiful? So, that was a beautiful trade here on NASDAQ. I'm really proud of this trade. I think we're gonna get new lows here. Try to get it done. Get the job done here. And maybe not. Maybe a little pullback. Not even. Yeah, I think we're gonna rush through the lows here. If I can get a $900 trade on this one, it'll be beautiful. I'm going to put my stop at 750. Looks beautiful here. Yeah, so like I said, every move up has been really weak on NASDAQ. This is sell the rallies kind of trading here. And yeah, I'm going to get stopped out on that one for 750 bucks, which is a tremendous, and I mean tremendous trade. Yeah, so, that's the contextual trade there where, if you get a nice move down and for the ES screen here, I'm just gonna put back. Look at that. Let's just see what ES is doing. And ES has also made new lows. So look at Nasdaq. That was a beautiful. It was very clear. You guys could see it on my Nasdaq screen after. That was a tremendous entry. Uh, so we've got a very weak market. I think Nasdaq uh, has good potential to really make a move towards 14,745, 14,700s. I think we're gonna get some more flushes here, but gotta. I have to admit we are above yesterday's highs and we are above yesterday's value, so it could kind of find some kind of support around the 14,750s, and then move probably in some kind of rotational market and maybe end the day back into yesterday's range. So let's see if this is a false breakout on NASDAQ here today, because it is above yesterday's high. ES is also showing weakness because no real strength above the overnight high, which is also corresponding to yesterday's high. That's a poor. Well, I mean, it went through it and can't find buyers, so it just looks like it's a false breakout kind of session here, doesn't it? Yeah, and here we are. So I'm just gonna have to share the screen that I just posted here with Nasdaq here. That last trade, again, a nice 750 bucks here on that one. Um, like I said, maybe it's because I was a bit too conservative in some of my other recordings because I don't want to basically start adding trades, or sorry, contracts all over the place to short, but the context here is looking like a really strong momentum, and every move up in Nasdaq has really been uh, you know kind of a good area to look to short. So that was it. Here we are, very aggressive today. um, Mostly Nasdaq trades, eh? when the market is very clear like this, it just makes trading kind of look easy. But that's why try to tell traders that look, um, try to really be aggressive the days where you know that the market is doing something. You're like, it's very clear, right? It's not just chop, and it's not the recent summertime trading that we've had today. Actually, yesterday was really good. I watched back, I looked back into my recordings, and it really looked like a very nice day to trade. Unfortunately, I missed yesterday, so I don't know if that's the reason why I'm being a bit more aggressive today. So anyway, here is the first hour recap. I mean, first hour. It's only been 30 minutes, so here we are. Here we are. So I'm just gonna show you guys that as well. So these are the trades on NASDAQ this morning. Really aggressive, but clear entries. Very clear momentum. Anyway, that's that. Wanted to show you guys. So here on Nasdaq, we've been noticing that the deltas are a bit. Sorry, the deltas are a bit more negative. Higher deltas when every pullback is coming into previous battle zones. And here is the market contacts. Russell is just super weak, already below yesterday's value area, so that's already a signal that this could be a pretty nice day to trade for day traders. Here we are. So I'm just gonna put this back. That's Twitter. So that move on ES was pretty clear. Yeah, I think this chart here with my what you call it, this here. I mean, I think my it's got the overnight, and I'm just gonna see what's wrong with this. I think it's got the overnight and yeah, one is the full what is it? Sorry, it's the full session overnight and RTH. Yeah, I'm just gonna maybe update that. This one is, sorry, I'm just gonna put this RTH, or I'm just gonna put current session. Current session. So that's current session, and that's the overnight. I actually don't really need the overnight, but I'm just gonna see if I can hide it here. So this should be right. So 40 trades at the lows, 46. Okay. Anyway, so let's see here. 120 at the highs, 120, and then we've got 923 after. Yeah, it's actually giving me both, I think. Sorry, guys. Oh, no, that's right. It's right. 3,000. Here we are. And that's the VPOC, which is, yeah, the VPOC is at that level. So the VPOC, it's mostly sellers, as you guys could see. I mean, I think it could give me some context. So I just want to see 43.37. Obviously, absorption here. These guys are 43.37. So it's a good way because Jigsaw doesn't put it this way. Like, so I said to myself, why not have it also with ES? So the thing is, I'm trying to find a way to configure this so that I can have this maybe somewhere that's not really disturbing me, but can I put it here somewhere, maybe? Because if we put it this way, let's see. Because we've got the large lots here, we've got the tape here, and if I put maybe this here, let's just play around with this, like that. Yeah, I'm on the ES screen here, so if you guys are like, what is he talking about? So, there we go. So I was just playing around with my ES screen, the NQ guys. Yeah, here NQ's got a nice little trap here. I think they just trapped a bit of the sellers here, which could definitely give a nice move up. Wasn't that that was really clear, wasn't it? It just looks like they did some trapping here. Yeah, so they trapped 14,800 right there. If we go back to the market here, so that's that. Let's just put that here, the market context, guys. Sorry, Russell is still looking really weak. So here's a Russell. YM is also, I mean, obviously they're all kind of weak, and Euro is really weak, so that might be adding to it because the dollar is strengthening, which is adding pressure to the Euro and most likely adding pressure to the indices as well. So let's see how that plays out. I'll be right back. So we're getting close to the first hour here. Yeah, so I always emphasize trying to get the day done in the first hour or the first 2 hours basically, to see how, it's not really about I need to really trade the initial balance or whatever, but it's volume. If the volume is the best in the first hour or two, so, and especially since we're in June, July, and August, summertime trading, you need volume to be able to, really get the momentum and the velocity that you want with your trade. So it's always about when it's easy. So, I don't want to be trading, I don't know, let's say low volume chop between, I don't know, 4 to 6 ticks, four ticks in ES where it's chopping around. It's tough to trade those times. So I'd rather really focus on the best timing, and when you can do that, you know, you could at least emphasize those periods. Hmm. Yeah, so I don't know if I forgot, but I might have left the price clock on when I was talking at the same time. So I think this is actually on the system sound, and I don't hear it from the mic. So I might have been talking when the price clock was on. So sorry for that, guys. Um, right, give me 2 seconds here. So I'm gonna let the market play out here. So yeah, really, NASDAQ has really trapped the traders here. Again, I'm using charts just to illustrate what's going on, especially with this type of range chart kind of thing. So they trapped the sellers there, and then it was very clear also on the footprint. Um, if we go back to that exact area there, where is it? Sorry. Again, I don't really look at every little volume in the footprint for NASDAQ. Okay, so that's not something I do. So now we were getting some selling again here. Yeah, with that move up on NASDAQ, they basically they broke those lows and then had a battle right here, and then from there it was pretty clear that now that 14,795 is going to be a really important level to see how those guys, you know, yeah, here we are, 14,795, I said, right? And that was the exact area where we had the trap. See how it could help to have, there was a decent volume also on that, so sellers kind of ran to cover. And let's go see here. So now we're getting that, like I said, 14,795 is my spot to see what is really going to be happening here. So let's see how, and it's been pretty clear to trade here on on NASDAQ. So if I can put this back here like this, arrange it this way, let's see. And if we look at the the ES, the footprint is like this. So here we are. So that's ES footprint. I'm just going to extend it so that I could show it on my ES screen here also. There we are. So that's 9:30 and the second period there. Let's just put it like that for now. Let's see how the initial balance plays out here. Yeah, so again, if you've been noticing, they're really going for every rally. It's been pretty clear rotations. So this is the break of the initial balance here. So let's see how that plays out. But I think very weak here. The market is, although if you look at it contextually, you'd say, oh, we're above yesterday's value or whatever, and it just looks like it's a false breakout kind of situation. Me having several trades already in, I'm trying to be a bit cautious to not get trapped here, but definitely look at NASDAQ making new lows. Really just been, it's when it's hovering gradually slower and moving gradually slower like this. NASDAQ is a beast. You need to always watch out for that with NASDAQ. It's that velocity where if it's just moving, coming back, moving back up, it's most likely going to go higher. But if it's just moving slowly like this, and you know, eh, it's not a buyer's market. Let's just put it that way. You need to go and look for a pullback to sell. And again, you need to watch out for the rotations because if you look at the rotations here on NASDAQ, I'd say we've got easily a 6 to 8 point rotation here. So if we're trading the 770s, you want to make sure you're not selling too close to the price here. With fast markets, you got to really watch out for those rotations. And now I think they might, it really doesn't look like they're going to get any kind of a reversal here on the NASDAQ. But yeah, so this is the kind of scenario situation where you really want to make sure that you're not trying to buy any dips on NASDAQ. Um, Gotta be really focused and gotta really need to, you know, let's see if how we trade above the 768s here on NASDAQ here. And really looks really weak here. Okay. So maybe the easy trade is over. Now everyone's kind of leaning like, oh, the market's very bearish, but this is when they could really easily trap you. And if I look at ES, and sorry for the coloring here with my Doman Sierra, it's really confusing sometimes. The red should actually be here and the blue should be lower, but the bids should be in blue and the offers should be in red. But anyway, I won't start fussing around with that for now. Just kept it like that. Didn't really care. Uh, so what's going on here is let's just erase the bidding and stacking here. Yeah, they're really getting through. Oh, a refreshing order here at the 2650s. Not even. They're really busting through everything here. So the 25s has a nice. Oh, not even they're pulling. They're really pulling up. They're pulling their bids here. It's really, you got to look at that sometimes and got to be cautious. The pulling and stacking on the order book here. Yeah, so I'm using Denali for my Sierra charts here. Yeah, man, this is really a very weak market, guys. We're right at the mid of value for Nasdaq, so this could be. Yeah, we're gonna get in. We're gonna need. What did I say earlier? I said that we would get through the 45s and high potential. We're gonna get through. The 695s could be an area to watch. I'm just being very cautious to see if we get any kind of responsive trading here on Nasdaq around this area. But yeah, there's some buying coming in, but really every time yeah, the sellers are really aggressive on Nasdaq here. They're really aggressive. Now we're gonna get some kind of a move here on NQ. Definitely looks like we're gonna get some kind of rotation higher. Let's see. Um, mhm. So the 732 area looks like it's pretty much the zone, and I'm gonna try to see if we can get a run up here on NASDAQ here. Trying to be aggressive. It looks like it's gonna be the spot. Yeah, there we go. Move it, move it. Get out of the way. Okay, so I'm trying to put that, and it's not. Yeah, it's really fast markets. Gotta focus on entries, and that was a nice move there on. And again, I'm looking at the 732s, and it looks like that's pretty much the spot that. Oops, sorry for that. The market has to respect. Tremendous here, tremendous. Mhm. Yeah, so V reversal here on ES. It's good to have these two range charts here to give you context. Uh, I could have been a bit. I could have held on to that NQ there, which was pretty obvious that the 732 was going to be the main reversal point here. So yeah, now So when you're trading NASDAQ like this, good thing to always watch is which price does the tape kind of like go faster, you know? You always want to kind of watch to see that, and it's always good to have a good perspective of what the tape is doing, and like now this is pretty normal, but let's see how, maybe I can give you an example here. Let's see. At the moment, we've got a pretty decent battle at the 760s, and you don't want to really be trading too close to that. But I mean, even myself, sometimes with my entries, I'm not perfect. So if the battle's at 760 here, I would only look to see how the market would trade around the 762s. Sorry, 52s. Sorry. Always give it, some some room. Obviously, a lot of battling is occurring here above 760, but the way I see that is it could just be, and it's really tough to see on a dome with the large orders here on NQ because there's no real large order. You know what I mean? It could be absorption, right? They're absorbing everything above 760s and then they're gonna run it lower. That kind of thing is very obvious. But the way I see it here is it's not a clear short, and it's definitely not maybe a very strong buy below the 760s unless we get another battle zone. So I used to always like put battle, B or whatever, but now I, 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 I forget, so I have a post-it next to me, so I just kind of write those down. But then there's also clues to see the battles on this footprint chart that I'm using now. So obviously, with this move up, we've not even had, any kind of negative delta on any of these rotations here, recent rotations. So it's tough to be a seller here on Nasdaq, And I was expecting this kind of movement as well because we're coming back into, if you look at it, we're coming back into yesterday's value on Nasdaq, and Nasdaq likes to do that. It likes to rotate back in. Let's see here. Um, just gonna erase all. What is it here? On, there's something wrong with my Russell chart that I just don't like, man. It's kind of bothering me. Anyway, it's not working. Who cares? Yeah, Russell is really weak. Um, it's kind of leading also the other indices. And let's see here. So from 760, they moved up to like 68.70s, and I think everything above the 760 here is getting absorbed. And I don't know, it just feels like they're gonna push it lower here from on Nasdaq. So I would start offering here on Nasdaq, but since I've already had a tremendous day, I think I'm gonna be a bit more conservative. So let's just look at the context of the market here quickly. So I always come back and show this because I have this on another screen, and I just want to make sure that when I'm doing these recordings, at least if I come back to see it, I'll be like, oh, what did the market do? What did the market look like after the initial balance? It kind of gives me a good contextual reading because trading without context is not. It's not that it's not possible, but let's say we did not have that context chart. You're just here trading what you've got on the dome, and I don't know, you're forgetting that this area here is yesterday's low, and you would go and buy that, right? Below yesterday's low, there's a good chance there's a good stop run, right? So I wouldn't like to really just go and buy yesterday's low kind of thing. So if you know where you are contextually, you know that you would not want to go and buy yesterday's low because high odds you're buying into traders that have stop losses just below your entry, and that could kind of screw up your entry there. So you would like to not you'd like to have better entries. That's how I see it. Hmm. Hmm. I think I forgot to close the price clock again, so sorry for that. Let me just turn it off. The thing is, when it's turned off, there's no noise at all, and then some traders are like, "Oh, this is too quiet." Well, I mean, again, quiet. There's always movement in the tape and also in the markets. It's just some people like to have music or noise or some kind of voice background behind all this. So that's why I was putting it up. I was putting up the NQ price clock, and the thing is, I have to shut it off when I'm talking, which I tend to forget. So 11 a.m. I might do this for another 30 minutes. Let's see how this goes. So that 760 was the main area to focus on on NQ here. So let's see if we can get something. Maybe another trade. I'd like to do an ES trade here. So let's see. Yeah. All right. So let's see. So if we focus on ES, there was a refreshing order here at the 31.25. So I blocked basically the first two digits of the price here. It's just to minimize the columns. I mean, it's clear on the tape, right? 43.32. This is the recent price here. We're getting some bidders here at the 32s, and they just let go. The 32s bid again, and they let go again. Looks like 32 is a resistance here on ES. Yeah, so now uh, really the let's see. I mean, I've been focusing on the tape here on ES, and the large orders have not been really affecting. Here we are, absorption 32. Did you see that? Absorption 32 ticked once below it, and then Yeah, so as I said, rotating in previous day's value, that's something that NASDAQ will do. And it's exactly what it's doing. This is pretty, I mean, I'd say it's a pretty bearish contextual setup because we're looking like we broke out of yesterday's range and we're coming back in, which is not looking very bullish at all. Putting together Russell that's weak, and ES is doing similar thing as NASDAQ here. So we've got a single print here at 43.38 for ES, and so in the overnight, those single prints on NASDAQ got filled in pretty quickly. Yeah, I mean that's context, right? I mean, at the moment, if you're telling me am I bullish or bearish, it doesn't look very bearish at the moment when you look at the order flow, because Nasdaq's really rotating higher, and it's been really not even doing a new low here. It's been really higher highs and higher lows so far, unless they trap. But I mean, at the moment, I don't see. It's very rotational. I'd say if you're able to get an entry and go for a 7 to 8 point winner here, that's the kind of market you've got at the moment. So, but that's also the kind of market where you can get trapped, and then yeah. So I always try to not get trapped, right? I mean, I know contextually that we're bearish, but we've got a little bullish cycle here where you know the sellers are covering. Let's see. Yeah, we just got some red flashing in the in the Nasdaq tape here. Let's not forget 2 p.m. to this afternoon. We've got the what was it? The FOMC meeting. Yeah, minutes. Yeah. So FOMC minutes here. Gotta be careful with that. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. Now, really, 760 has given up here on Nasdaq. So, uh, I don't know what to tell you here. It's not bullish at all. I mean, we've got a big order here on 70.55 here on Nasdaq. I'm just curious to see if that guy's gonna get filled. I don't know if I haven't really tracked the order book much on Nasdaq today, but definitely doesn't look like there's a big large order sitting in the bids here. But did that guy just disappear? No, he's there. He's still there. He wants to trade. What was it? The 755, right? So, did I just put an order? Nope, didn't. Cancel that. Yeah, this is the period where I'd love to start just stacking into sellers on ES, but I'm being very, very, very um, disciplined to not ruin my day because I've already had a tremendous day here. You know, got aggressive when I was pretty convinced to be aggressive. And here, 760s coming back into a NASDAQ. So I don't know if they're going to trap the sellers here again, because it just looks like that's what's going to happen. So no, it's weak. It's pretty weak. Got to be a seller in this market for NASDAQ here. Yeah, doesn't look very strong. Just want to leg into maybe 4 or 5 contracts on NASDAQ here and just write it down. But man, it's so tempting. Yeah, so if we look at the contextual setup again, I think we're going to most likely start one-time framing down here on NASDAQ. So if that's the case, then we need to be a seller, right? There's a poor low on ES, which might actually just get repaired and then flush lower, but yeah, so that bearish momentum on NASDAQ just kind of disappeared. So if they go for a new high here, that'll be really surprising. Yeah, it's very weak, man. I'm just gonna have to leg into 1 or 2 here on NASDAQ. I'm gonna do something I generally don't do. Be aggressive. Let's see. Yeah, I think we're gonna make a new low on NASDAQ, and if that's the case, we're gonna have to sell into the 60s. Yep, gonna do that. So that's 52. We got to 56, 4 points, which is not the kind of rotations I'd expect, but around the 60s here, maybe get 58. I'd like to leg another one in here, so okay, get that there. 60s and then 68, 60s, 68s. We're gonna have to. Oh yeah, here we are, running it lower. Yeah, I'm gonna be aggressive here. I'm just gonna let this run all the way to the lows, maybe, because I have a feeling we're gonna make new lows here. But unless I take it at 200 here, I'd like to make 200 bucks on NASDAQ, or we're just gonna squeeze some more out of this one. Short 2 here. Yeah, every rally is being sold back in. So am I pushing it for a $500 profit here on NASDAQ? Let's see. Too short. Yeah, 720s would be a nice rundown. I think we can get to 720s. What do you think? Guys, we're gonna have to be. Anyway, the next I'm just gonna put a stop here at the 55 because I just have a feeling. I just hope that doesn't happen. But uh, come back in, come back in. Here we are. Yeah, come to Papa. Do your thing. Run through, baby. Come. Give me at least a $500 gain here. Give it to me, please. It's gonna work, guys. I'm gonna move one out. It just looks like it's gonna work. Yeah, here we are. It's gonna move lower now. Come on, no, not it. Anyway, we at least came out of that with a nice little profit, so that's good. It's tough because I have that bias that it's gonna make new lows, but 752 has been a tremendous rotational point here on NASDAQ. So if you're looking to sell it, you're gonna sell it a bit above 752. Now we're getting some flushes through it, so 52 to 58, that was a 6 point rotation. That means I think we could come back and sell the 68s, but no, I think we're getting some kind of a squeeze here. Let's just look at ES, and ES also looks like it's gonna break out of this little congestion show. So let's be cautious on the short side. And if you look at the tape here on ES, we've got the large orders that are starting to really stack up and really been aggressive at the 32s here. So we've got a battle here at the 34s, as you can see very clearly on the dome. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna be cautious here on NQ here because I wanted to sell the 68s, but I think we're gonna have to let it. Let's see. Maybe the 68s would have been a nice sell, but anyway. Now it's getting very close to it, so oh, wow, that would have been a nice sell. I mean, again, it didn't really do the big flush that I expect, but maybe if we get one or two contracts to run here, we can get something going. Yeah, I think we're gonna go for a new high here, so I'm just gonna try to see if I can get out of this one here with a little. Maybe not, maybe not. Come on in, come back in. 68s, go through it. Yeah, we're gonna have to be cautious here on the sell side. Looks like they are going for some stops. Yeah, so like I said, the easy trade is over, kind of, you know. I said 68s, but the 72s really looked good, so I could have sold the 72s as well. So let's see. Yeah, here we are. Let's do that. I'm gonna be a bit aggressive. Try to get a $100 gain out of this one here. Would it work? Talking talking about the NQ here. So 72s, 80s look really good. If I sell the I'm gonna go ahead and sell the 72s and then the 78s and maybe the 80s here. Let's see. Very hard to get any movement out of NQ here to the short side. So gotta most likely sell the 72s, get the rotation lower, and then get out if I could. Yeah, some selling here coming in. Decent move. Anything below 68s would give us a nice move flush, a nice flush here, but yeah. I'm stacking up some orders here at the 78s to 80s here, so if I can get something out of that, that would be nice. Yeah, here we go. So we got a nice little trade here. Below the 68s. Come on, give it to us. Doesn't want to give it to us, so here we go. Another rush. Yep, here we are. Come on in. Here we are. That was nice. So let's just quickly get a stop in at, and there we are. Beautiful. Nice trade. So all about entries, man. It's all about entries. Yeah, here we are. So very, very good day. Um, very happy the way I'm trading here. Uh, I missed yesterday, so that kind of disappointed me. Maybe another 10 minutes to go before I call it a day for my trading. Um, so decent first hour trades here on NASDAQ. Uh, Definitely one of my best trading days in a while now. I have to admit. Here we are. So these are the main trades that took that loss on NASDAQ. So that's okay. And that's it. So that's pretty much the number of trades I've got here. Approximately 10 or 11 trades. It looks really good. And the other thing I wanted to mention here is, um, yeah, for the ES here with the volume profile that I have on CR charts. Again, it's just because on Jigsaw, because it wasn't very clear earlier. I think oh, I'm getting a trade here on ES by error here. Sorry, that's not what I wanted to do, and I just moved the bid. Let's just put that back in here. So here we are. Sorry for that. Again, here, if you look at the volume profile on my God, I can't get it to work. Okay, here we are. The volume profile, like I said, on my Jigsaw, like here at the 32s, right? We've got 10,182, the 32s. And if we go to the 32s here on ES, what did I do? Yeah, 32s is right here. You see, um, it's mainly on the buy side, right? On the offer side. So they lifted the offers. So it's just to see like on the at the 32s with that amount of volume, was there like absorption? If we get a clear picture here, would be there's 43.22, 43.22, yeah, and this 43 22 25. So if we go here, 43 22 25, which is right here, clearly you could see that uh, there was more on the offer side at that price. Sometimes this really gives you a good contextual, because if you get to 42, 43, 32s here, clearly buyers are willing to be aggressive at the 32s, right? So if you have any kind of a trade below the 32s, let's say you put a buy order here and then it starts trading below that, you want to either get out because you know that a lot of the buying has occurred at the 32s today, and most of the selling occurred at the 37s, which is going to give some pressure to those sellers, and we could very well do a nice move up here above the 37s because most of the selling has been occurring at that price. So it's just contextually to view what's going on. And again, the same sellers came back in at the 37s, and they're willing to be aggressive at that level. And they were, aggressive 2 points higher as well. So the 39s and the 38s looked pretty aggressive on the sell side. And as you can see, they most likely trapped all these buyers above the 42s because these guys were aggressive here above the 42s. Yeah, so that's about. And again, the 47s also had a lot of buying, so these guys also, if we come back into this area, these guys, that's where we had. Sorry, if we get below that, you know that these guys could very easily, below this volume profile, they could start really. Again, it's just contextual, right? It's good to see. Um, That's why I just wanted to use it to see how I could, But again, if I'm recording, I might not be able to always come back and see them because I have to put this at constant range and to see how. It's good for me because at the same time I'm testing new things and I just want to see because I don't have that information on the volume profile on Jigsaw here, which is kind of annoying because they should actually have that kind of a little setting when uh, when we're customizing our domes. That's the whole point of me using Sierra charts and Jigsaw together. So, and on this dome here on Sierra charts, I don't have the inside prints, so I just wanted to avoid that. But I have it on the NASDAQ screen. I have it on another dome here on the NASDAQ screen, which I'll just put back here. And again, NASDAQ is very weak again. So, they've really been, every rally has been kind of sold, and exactly the theme of the day has been that. And I think we're gonna run for another low here. Ended we haven't ended the one-time framing lower on Nasdaq, so Same thing with Russell here. I'm not even going to show yesterday's range. Russell just ended the one-time framing down on a 30-minute basis. Let's just put up ES here. ES also has done that. So ES, NQ, and Russell. So, like I said, I had mentioned this earlier, but you know, it's obviously not easy doing this kind of commentary and trading at the same time all the time. But we're gonna hopefully get something. If I can do this once a week at least, And I mean, today was a good day to do this. Yesterday would have been a good day as well. Uh, Again, I can't really. There's there's no way to really know that yesterday was going to be a good day or today was going to be a good day anyway. There's It's pretty light news-wise, except for the jobless claims on Thursday, which I'm not thinking it's going to have a huge impact because we already had the NFP report from yet last week, which I think this week is going to just basically be a pretty good, clear trading week where not a lot of news and the news shouldn't really affect anything. But I mean, it's good to have the information because if I did not have financial juice here, I would have probably forgot about the 2 p.m. FOMC meeting minutes. Okay. So today, if we wrap up quickly, did some aggressive trades on NASDAQ. I usually focus more on my entries, so uh, yeah. So if we look at that was earlier, sorry. So that was the earlier trades. Just gonna come back, put this here. Give me 2 seconds. Yeah, except for that little one of the NQ trades where I was really aggressive. I loaded maybe 6, 7 contracts on that one. So other than that, pretty decent day, right? Coming back to the trades of the day. So yeah, that was the big one where I had, I scaled in a couple of good contracts on that one. Yeah. So and then this one, which we took the loss because we were playing around with trying to understand what was going on. It was maybe too biased to the sell side at that period where we had a nice little rotation on NQ. If we look at it here, that was yeah, it was I think it was in this period here where we had a little rotation, and then I got caught maybe trying to sell in this area as well. Anyway, so that was that, and if we look at the the footprint on ES, 30-minute footprint, just to see if we have any clear, unfinished businesses or anything like that. So nothing really standing out except the fact that really this 32 area has been the main area to focus on ES. 43, 43, 43, 32. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's just put this back here. All right. Mm, Yeah, nice move up on ES here, which is really above that 37 as we had identified this area where the sellers are really very vulnerable here. These guys are very clearly, yeah, I was gonna just show you guys maybe the here, very vulnerable here. These guys around this 36, 37 area. Any move higher could really ignite the bulls, let's say. And NQ is just doing its typical thing where rotating in previous day's value area, just giving us some kind of a balance there would be very, very, very normal. Uh, nothing really different. Where is this now? Where is the price here? Okay, here we are. So that's where we are now on ES. Buyers ran through this area very clearly here on the dome on ES. And that's crazy how we just got a nice little flush here on NQ, and that same 760 has been really creating a lot of issues for NQ here. Looks like everything above 760 is being sold into, so if we can get some kind of, I'm gonna see if we can get some kind of selling here on NQ before I start loading the boat for a run to the lows. Yeah, I would love to get a retest of the lows here on NQ. Just looks like it's exactly what it wants to do. I'm gonna add another one just to get some exposure. If I'm gonna sell more, I'm gonna sell above the 60s, which would be around the 65s, and here we are. I think NQ is gonna make a run to the lows here, guys. It just, yeah, and I think it's accelerating here, and if we can get something here, I'm gonna try to be aggressive. A move up, any kind of a move up. So I've got two short. If I'm gonna take another three, I'm gonna take one off at the 44s or 43s. Let's see if I can get a move lower here. Alright, so I think we're gonna get a move lower. I'm gonna be very aggressive on this NQ trade, guys. I just have a feeling we can get a move much lower here. Come on, give it to me. Do it. Here we are. Come on in. There we go. Yeah, I need to move now. I need this to move like now. Alright, so here it is. Coming. NASDAQ is coming in, guys. It's running for the lows here. Come on. Just gonna put some. It's not gonna do it. We missed it. Anyway, maybe. No, it's not gonna work. Yeah, it's been really. It's been weak here, so if I get the run, I get the run. If it works, it works. I'm gonna. 20 points would be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah. Come on. Yeah, you got stopped out on that one. All good. At least, that's the thing, if you're up 400, 500 bucks on NQ and you're doing that with two or three contracts, guys, just take one or two off, get some profits locked in. That's how it works. That's how you got to play the NASDAQ. So for the last time, I'm just going to go and update the trades of the day on Twitter here. Uh, Decent day. Made some nice rotations on NASDAQ. Yeah, and that 760, man, 14,760 has been really the main area to focus on. On ES, we've got 43.37. That's that. Decent day. I'm pretty proud of how I traded this morning. What do you guys think? Here's the market context. Always putting that in so that we don't forget. And I'm gonna call it a day. I just want to show you guys here the market context. ES really riding this higher. NQ stuck in yesterday's value area. Russell also making a reversal here. Looks like we're gonna have a very fun afternoon going into the 2 p.m. FOMC minutes meeting. Enjoy your day, guys. It was a very cool day to trade this morning. And these are the trades of the day. No, that's not it. Sorry. Yeah, so I just did a new trade here, so that was not. Here we are. So that's the trades of the day. Pretty good. Contextually, that's ES. That's my NQ full chart screen. Enjoy your day, guys. Bye bye.